All right, welcome back to the channel. Tyson Fury says that he is the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time. You knew that was not going to be long before he started spewing that out. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back. Tyson Fury, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, claims that he is the greatest heavyweight or greatest fighter of all time, and that there is no boxer in the last 1,000 years or any era that could have beaten him. And that, my friend, is malarkey. Let's talk about that and why he would say it and why many people might be tempted to believe it and the reason they would be wrong in this video. But before I do that, I want to say special thank you to everybody that supports the channel, to everybody that supports on Patreon, to everybody that supports in our live streams, through the super chats, through the Cash App. You guys are very, very much appreciated. We cannot do it without your support, and you have been supporting, so thank you very much. Tyson Fury can beat any heavyweight ever in any era, regardless of the era. That means the rules, the size, the weights. That's what he believes. Now, everybody has their right to believe what they want to believe, but I think upon closer inspection, you might have to question that. Now, let's start off with the argument that people will give you for why that would be true. Because there's only one argument for why what separates Tyson Fury from every other heavyweight champion in any other era that has fought. What is that? If you are a supporter of Tyson Fury, what you're going to tell me is that he is too big. That's the argument, and that's the only argument. The argument is not based on what he's accomplished in the ring, because he has won 2 fights of significance. Vladimir Klitschko and Tyson Fury. And Deontay Wilder. He has won 2 fights of significance. That's it. 2. You can name fighters throughout every generation with significantly more wins of note than Tyson Fury has. Is it his skill? No. You can name fighters throughout every generation, throughout every era in boxing that is as highly skilled or more than he is. In fact, you can find fighters that are many more fighters that are more skilled than Tyson Fury. The only distinguishing factor that he has, and it is a significant distinguishing factor, is the fact that he is 6'9" and 300 pounds, and being that size, he moves around very well. That is the argument. He's better than Muhammad Ali because Muhammad Ali is 6'3". He's 6'9". There's a 6-foot height advantage. There is a 60-pound weight advantage. Muhammad Ali beats Tyson Fury, would therefore beat Muhammad Ali, right? Same thing. Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis is only 6'5", and he's only 250. He's 4 inches shorter than Tyson Fury, and he's 20 pounds lighter, and he's not as mobile. Therefore, Tyson Fury would beat him. That's the game we would play if we had this discussion through all of these people. However, here is the problem with that. Tyson Fury and tall fighters in general benefit from the rules of boxing and the way that boxing is refereed. That, in modern day boxing, is why taller fighters have advantages over shorter fighters. It's called the break. When they get in close and a referee says break, Then there's no infighting allowed. The taller fighter with the judge puts you out on the outside again. And now the shorter fighter has to bob and weave to try to get back on in the inside on a fighter. Unfortunately for Tyson Fury and very tall fighters of the past, that, for the majority of boxing's history, was not how boxing fights were refereed. That began when people tried to start when boxing became popular on television, where people didn't want to see fights on the inside with grappling and holding and the punching on the inside and the work that takes place on the inside. Because remember, every fighter has an advantage over another fighter. The question is whether or not you are able to take advantage of your strengths, or whether they're going to be offset by the fighter. With a tall fighter, the obvious disadvantage for a tall fighter is that they have long arms. The same advantage that makes the punches on the outside effective are a disadvantage on the inside, where the shorter fighter can wear into your body. So the combination of that and the length of rounds makes it appear as if somebody, if you look back, take for example a Sam Langford. People wonder how a guy who's 5'7" and 180 pounds could beat bigger fighters. And let me assure you, at 5'7", Sam Langford was beating men who were 6'3". In fact, Sam Langford said that he preferred fighting taller fighters because they don't like it to the body. His job was, and if you see this with Henry Armstrong as well, go look at a tape of Henry Armstrong. Weave. He's in here. And once he gets in here, although he's a smaller man, it's his advantage because he can let his punches off more close to full extension in turn than the taller man can. So when Tyson Fury says that he can beat any fighter in any generation, that, my friend, is an exaggeration, because if you put a 6'9" man in the ring for 30 rounds and you allow a smaller and the referee, remember here it's important, the referee, if the referee allows the smaller man to fight on the inside, then the chance of them winning that fight goes up monumentally, as well as the lengths of the rounds. So a smaller man fighting for more rounds on the inside of a taller man may very well beat that taller man, may very well destroy that taller man based on the rules of the fight. We are not allowed to see that today because we watch these fights on television and it's not aesthetically pleasing to people who cannot see the inside action because the camera is so far away. You see the jab from the outside, the right hand, maybe you see the hook, right? Because so in the television era, the outboxer, the longer, taller outboxer, under the way that it is officiated for the sake of television, has the advantage over the smaller guy. But what Tyson Fury said was that he would beat anyone in any era. Let's also take into consideration, and I think it's an important consideration, that Tyson Fury would not be allowed to take performance-enhancing drugs in these other eras, or other people would be allowed to take them. So the simple fact that he tested positive for nandrolone and failed a performance-enhancing drug and took 2 years off calls into question his endurance. And whether or not he would be able to take, say, for example, he were fighting in the same style, right, as a 1920, 1919, from the 1900 to 1915. If he's fighting in that time frame where you are having 30-round fights and people are allowed to fight on the inside, and you fight, say, somebody like a 6'1", a 6'1" Sonny Liston. Somebody that is able, when he gets into the size, right, is able to lay into Tyson Fury's body and hit Tyson Fury over the top. Tyson Fury, under that situation, very well could go to sleep, and most likely would go to sleep, because he does not have tremendous punch. He does not have tremendous punch. What is it? Punch resilience. He doesn't take a punch well. So, nah. And if you didn't catch it, the most important of all of this is that he tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. So I just don't want to hear it. But that's my take. You let me know what your take is. And with that, I'm out. Peace.